Hobo eating his breakfast in his snowsuit. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Except Nothing. Today I wanted to go over a couple items or things that I've done to make winter camping a little more comfortable. They are not required by any means, but they are things that we have to make it a little easier and also make me sleep a little better at night. So let's get right into it. So the solo stove is the first thing that is pretty key to our way of camping nowadays. It's really nice for winter camping. This is probably our third or fourth year, I can't remember, that we've had it. And the nice thing about the solo stove is I was able to get this Weber grill grate here, and it fits right over the top of the solo. And we use this often to cook with. The big thing about the solo stove is, for instance, when we got here camping a couple days ago, all this area was covered with snow. It's melted off quite a bit because it's been pretty warm, but I mean, we were not able to get the trailer back over to where the fire pit is, and so instead of walking back and forth and having the fire over in the fire pit that was provided at the campsite, we're able to have our fire wherever we need to while being relatively safe. For those of you who are not familiar with the solo stove, it also is a smokeless or reduced smoke fire pit. It smokes a little when you get it started, but compared to using a standard fire ring, it's really awesome about keeping the smoke down. But the biggest reason that we like it is we can move the fire wherever we need it. So the second thing that we do to make it a little bit more comfortable in the camper, we have the heater running as needed throughout the night. But in order to preserve propane and to kind of maintain the heat inside the camper, I made these foil insulated panels that are on all the bedsides all the way around the camper. And these just help to keep the heat in, the cold out. And they're pretty cheap. It wasn't a very expensive mod, but it is something that I like to use to preserve power. The next thing that we bring pretty much every time, and actually during the winter I brought the generator all the time, but we bring the solar panel all the time. If you guys wanted to see how I rigged up the solar for this particular camper, using a module that I already had, then click on the video link here and you guys can check that out. But the panel is something that helps maintain the battery. We have this here, and right now it's propped up against the generator. So the next mod that I did for the trailer was, they had these lights here, and I could get LED bulbs, but I thought it would be better lighting if I installed these LED strips here. And these are powered up, switch back here, and voila. It provides really good white light during the nighttime. It's during the day now, so it's kind of hard to see how much light it's providing, but I have that other strip there, I just haven't wired it up yet. But this is another cheap and easy mod that I was able to do to make it just a little better than it was before. Okay, another thing that just helps setup go much quicker is we have this ball leveler, tire leveler right here, and there's some advantages and disadvantages to this thing. It looks like it can raise about, whoa, got windy. It looks like it can raise about 6-7 inches, but that's not accurate. Because it's elevating at an angle, you actually don't get that much rise out of it. Plus, when you start lifting up that one axle, I have a torsion flex axle, and it flexes as I lift it, so you don't gain as much as you'd think, but it does help if you get the trailer mostly level. And it does take quite a bit of work to ratchet that sucker, but it still helps out. It gets us level. It's less wood I have to bring to level out, or leveling blocks. So, all right, so the last mod has nothing to do with function or purpose or efficiency. It has to do with a bad trip I had. Actually, not this camping trip, but the one before it. November, we went hunting, elk hunting, and we were out in the middle of nowhere with no tree cover, and a 60-mile-an-hour wind storm came through, snowed pretty good, and just thrashed the camper. So 60 miles an hour on a pop-up was kind of nerve-wracking, to say the least. And so something I was thinking about, oh, and at the beginning of that trip I snapped a cable. So on that corner over here, one of the cables snapped, the lifter cable, and I realized that there's not really like a safety mechanism. So if the cable's just all of a sudden, for whatever reason, just snapped, which I don't think is gonna ever happen, but if they did, I wanted to have some kind of safety, some kind of safety measure in place, so that if they came down while we were sleeping or during a high windstorm, we would be able to keep the pop-up up. And so I just have these 2x4s with this notch up here, and I just have them Velcroed, and I have them on all four corners. Let's see. Yep, it's 2x4 here, and I have them Velcroed to the lifters, so that way if it ever falls, then they'll fall onto those 2x4s. So I have them in the back corner too. Well, that's it. Just a couple of creature comforts and efficiencies that we use to make it a little easier for ourselves. This was our really late winter camping trip, and it was Hubble's first time camping, so that was kind of neat. We did a small little hike, and Adam got torched by the sun, and that's about it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Please hit like and subscribe, as it does help the channel. I also have the merch, and any of the products that you've seen on here that are purchasable that I didn't build, I will put the links in them down below. You guys have a great afternoon and evening, or in whatever time you guys are watching this, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.